Hello everyone and welcome back to Total Football Talk. So today we're going to look at the latest news coming out of Old Trafford. Obviously we had the game last night which we won. Happy about, plenty still to improve on. Performances in parts was good. But yeah, we've a lot of improvement to make. We've got headlines coming out, and those little headlines are Garnacho to Chelsea looks like could potentially happen. Talks of 59 to 60 million. Chelsea are going to bid for Manchester United's Garnacho. How do we feel about that? Do we feel that that's a good price? Should he be going? Does he need to be leaving the club? Good question. Don't know. I'll give you my opinion in a minute. You know what? Are if we sell him, are we going to put the money back into the club, or is the money going to go to help service all the other problems that we have around FFP and PSR? Let's have a quick look at that as well. Dorgu, in or out? Is he going to come? Is he going to stay? What's he going to do? Are Manchester United going to pay over the top for him? We'll talk briefly about that. We'll talk about last night's result. We'll also talk about the little bit of information coming out surrounding Arsenal's so-called wonder kid, centre back, that Manchester United are currently looking at. His name is, it eludes me, Ayden Heaven, Heavan. Manchester United are interested in this young 18-year-old prospect. It's a bit like the Obi Martin's deal. The kid's coming to the end of his contract, and Manchester, I think his contract ends in the summer 2025. And Manchester United are kind of interested in, kind of snapping him up from Arsenal and doing what they did with Obi Martin's and bringing him in to our team as a potential prospect for the future. So all that to dive into, guys. If you're enjoying the content, please just give me a like if you would. That would be amazing. And a subscribe, that would also really help the channel. Thank you very much. I just want to keep trying to grow this little thing. Viewing figures are going up amazingly well, so thank you for anyone who is watching. And if you've got any comments, please drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, we'll just move into the news. So Garnacho, is he going to stay or is he going to go? There's talk of 59 million from Chelsea to 60 million. Last night at the game, apparently there's images, there's conflicting reports. There's images of Garnacho waving to the crowd. It almost looks like he is saying goodbye, like that was his last match. And there was a snapshot of an interview he's done after the game, saying that he wants to stay and he wants to win the Premier League and the Champions League with Manchester United. I'm not entirely sure how true. I'm not entirely sure whether that interview came out because I've not seen it anywhere else. But there was just a still image all over X with some comments from him, and if that is the case, it's very, very interesting. I mean, this is mixed for me because I understand that we have to sell players if we're going to buy players. I hate the fact that we are that club, but that's where we are. My biggest issue with the whole Garnacho thing, and I don't think many people are talking about it because everybody's like, do we just sell him? Do we just take the money? What do we actually do? For me, if we sell him and the money doesn't go back into the club, that's a disgrace, regardless if there's issues with the club. Absolute joke. Something I did see yesterday was an interview with a journalist. I can't remember who it was now. It was on X, and they did talk about the reason why Manchester United, when they go to America, they don't go near Tampa. Why? Because Tampa is owned by the Glazers, and apparently that stadium and their training facilities are state of the art. Now, as far as I'm concerned, these absolute horrible people have rinsed Manchester United and funded their own project in America to make their own club, the club that they love. They don't love Manchester United. It's just a business to them. They just take money out of us and squander it either just willy-nilly on players that aren't worth the money, or they use it to facilitate their own project, which is Tampa Bay Buccaneers. An absolute disgrace that this is allowed to happen to this club. I've been run into the ground, and I'll say it, absolute joke. Can't stand these people because they have just stripped this club. Any else are in, and they're stripping the club in a different way, and everyone's stripping the club. It's right down to the Garnacho deal. They're actually stripping him as well to service and to keep the monkey off the back, to keep this this FFP and PSR issue, under control, which is an absolute disgrace. So I can see why it's going to have to maybe happen. I think if we bring someone in, and my point originally was, which I've kind of skewed from, apologies, if we sell Garnacho and we bring in someone, are they going to be able to cope with the pressure that comes with playing for Manchester United? Because how many players come in and hit the ground running? There's not many. There's absolutely not many that come in and hit the ground running straight away. Bruno Fernandes is one of the few. Eric Cantona back in the day came in, broad shoulders, played out of their skin and helped recover situations in back in the early 90s, back in 93, it was the one to win the title. Bruno helped Ollie recover, and that particular season, and we went on a good run of winning games. There's not many players that come in and do this, and I am afraid that whenever we bring in a player, they're not going to adjust and adapt to Manchester United. The pressure that comes with wearing that jersey that De Ligt talked about. Dorgu, is he going to come in and be able to cope with the pressure straight away? What happens if he has a bad couple of games? How stupid are we going to look to let Garnacho go if that is the case? I mean, I could be wrong. Someone could come in, they could fly out of the traps, and happy days. I mean, if that is the case, I hope that is what happens, but I just can't see it. I just don't believe it. I just think whoever comes in is going to find it tough. If we look at the signings that came in the summer, I think Yarro's done well. I'm really pleased with him. He's made mistakes. He got roasted in the Southampton game, fair enough. He's going to do that. He's 19. Kid's going to have bad games. You tell me any 19-year-old hasn't had a bad game. So how the hell are you meant to learn? Yes, but last night he was good. Some people weren't happy with him, but I thought he had a good game. He was strong, confident, and he's playing to the best of his ability at the age that he is, with a lot of, again, potential. Potential is the word here. Everyone, and bloody potential. So Yarrow, fair play. He's doing well. De Ligt has been solid. He's done well. Last night, why the hell that goal was ruled out, I have no idea. I mean, what the hell's football becoming? Can't even just touch people now, and they just throw themselves to the ground. Proper should go, and this guy Proper should go and have a good look at himself in the mirror. What a joke. Absolute disgrace the way he fell over. That should have been a goal. But De Ligt's come in and done well for this club. Mazraoui has done very well. And Ugarte, people say they took time to get going for Ugarte. If you actually go back and look at those games, actually did pretty well, just went unnoticed. But yeah, he's doing well. Okay, didn't have the last couple of games haven't been great for him, but maybe a little bit burnt out because he played a lot of games, a lot of minutes in a lot of pressurized situations. So I get that. But this is where we are. Garnacho is going to potentially be sold. Maybe he did have his last game. I hope he stays. I think there's a lot of potential in him. I think Ruben Amorim, given the time, could turn him into something really, really good. Whether he's going to be world class or not, I don't know. But he is a player that gets me on the edge of my seat when he attacks and he's direct. And we need that. And that's what Manchester United love, and are born on that. So anyone who says they're not, they don't understand this club. So that's my take on that. But he may go, and I'll be disappointed, especially if he goes to Chelsea, and especially if he goes on to progress the way I think he could do. Be very, very disappointing. And if we don't bring in someone, that's an absolute disgrace. And if we do bring in someone, the pressure on the poor lad that's coming in is going to be unbelievable. And I just hope they've got broad enough shoulders to be able to stand up and be counted, because we need someone to come in and be able to do better than what Garnacho's doing if they're going to come in. And that's going to be a big ask, because Garnacho's got very good stats this season. And I'm not a big stats person, but he does. But yeah, so that's where we're Garnacho, and kind of everything in and around that. Dorgu in or out. There's talk that Manchester United are ready to make another improved bid. We're potentially going up to 30 million. Absolutely horrific. This 25 million for me was max. 27 million is just too much. 30 million we're giving Garnacho away for, well, maybe Garnacho might go for double that. But this kid, if he's coming in and he's going to play for Manchester United, I just hope that kid has the ability to kind of cope with all the nonsense that's going to be thrown at him, especially if he makes a mistake, because the kid's going to get absolutely crucified if he makes a mistake in his first couple of games. So I'll be supporting him. I'll back him if he does come in, and hopefully he'll come in, do a good job, and he'll settle in quickly, and he'll kind of push on. And if I'm wrong and Garnacho doesn't, improve, and we take in Dorgu and he does the business, then I'll come back at me. I'll be happy to be wrong on that one. And I think I could, there's 50-50, as likely as one going one way and one going the other. But time will tell. Transfer window, the clock is ticking. Let's see how we get on with that one. And Manchester United are interested in signing Arsenal's young player Ayden Heaven. So this kid is another potential prospect coming through Arsenal's system. We took Obi Martin from Arsenal whenever we could. We got that opportunity. I've watched a lot of this kid in the youth setup, and he's very, very good. Obviously, can he make it? Only time will tell. But I think the initial kind of promise and what I've seen from him, he looks like he's a really good prospect. 16, he's training with the senior squad already. 17 now, he's just turned. Very, very impressive. He's got a lot of great qualities. Will he be the answer that we need this season? No, because we need a more experienced striker if we're going to bring in someone. But is he a potential for the future? Yes. It's a bit like this kid from Arsenal, this other young lad, Ayden Heaven. If we bring him in, great, another prospect, and look into the future. I get it. But the future, the future. We're in the present now, so we can't. Everything can't just be built for the future, because otherwise we're never going to do anything now, and we have to start doing something right now. As I said, transfer window's open. Come on, Ineos, come on, Glazers, pull your finger out. Let's make a deal happen. Even if Dorgu's the only deal that happens, it's something. I won't rate it. Still rate it a terrible transfer window. Casemiro's still here. Rashford's still here. Players that shouldn't be on the books. Fair play to Anthony. He actually wants to go and play football. Give him credit. Credit where it's due. He's going to go to Real Betis and get game time. Love that. Lad wants to go and do something in his career. That can't be said the same for others. Casemiro's in a different position. He's near the end of his career, so he maybe can take a bit longer. He's done everything. He's won everything. It doesn't matter to him in some ways, and he's probably financially secure already. Rashford's right in the middle of his career, and this kid's got to make a decision on what he wants to do, but that's for another day. And that's where we are pretty much with everything. Last night, final ending on the results. Had a bit of time to reflect. In parts, we played well in the game. We scored some good. Bruno scored a brilliant goal, brilliantly set up from Martinez. The Lecce goal should have counted. Disgrace that it wasn't. Rangers did press us in the last 20 minutes when they brought on their kids, and fair play to Rangers. They kind of went for it, and what a finish by Dezer. Can't pronounce his name. Can't think of his name. The striker for Rangers. Absolutely unbelievable finish. Absolutely unbelievable finish. Harry Maguire's got to do better. Absolutely poor defending from Harry, but brilliant finish. Bayinda had no chance. Bayinda made some good saves in the game. We got away with it last night, just about. Very, very important result. Good win. Some good football in patches. Well played to Garnacho. I thought he played well. I thought he on the wing he was good. As I said last night, as an out-and-out winger, I think he's great. With lots of potential to get better, because like any winger, inconsistencies is always the issue wingers have, and that's across the board. Bar even Ronaldo was when he started, and then he found his form. And obviously he's a kind of the exception to the rule. But wingers in generally are inconsistent, and people who don't see that, something wrong with them. And that's just what happens with Garnacho and Ahmad last night. I believe that there was a little bit of revenge in the eyes, and he didn't quite get there because he over-dribbled the ball at times. He just didn't make the right decisions, and I believe he wanted to kind of show Rangers what they were missing. And I think it just left Ahmad a little bit short on that one. But okay, guys, thanks very much for listening. If you're enjoying the content, I'm going to shut up now, and please give us a like, a subscribe. That will really help me just grow this little channel, and maybe someday my equipment and the whole setup will be a lot better rather than the botched job that I'm kind of working with at the minute. But thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you on the next one.